Good Monday morning of the week before Christmas. Exactly, it's the 19th today. Okay, today's you're in the week, the crescendo toward Christmas. Okay, and today the readings have to do with essentially the gospel with the birth of John the Baptist. And it really is the story of the confluence of the last of the great prophets. That's John the Baptist. And he is the summation of the entire Old Testament because he gets to point out the Messiah. Behold the Lamb of God. He points to Christ, you see? So that, in a way, in Luke's gospel, which you have the whole summation of the entire Old Testament in the person of John the Baptist, who is not the Messiah, but who points to the Messiah. He is the last of the prophets. He is the Old Testament in the flesh, pointing to Christ, the true Messiah. That's the point of Luke's gospel. See? The whole point of the text, you see. And I was thinking in a way about this is the week before Christmas. We're heading right into it. And it's a very special time. I think it truly is I love the Christmas carols. It's one of the most wonderful times of the year. And I think the reason is it's a time of consummate generosity and the family. It is both the happiest time and it can be the saddest time. I think of that as I've gotten older and older because in so many ways the Christmas dinner is no longer what it used to be. The vast number of people who sat at my father's table, my father and mother's table, my father sat at the head of it. He was the chef, okay? It was his festa. Almost everyone's dead, including my cousin Harry. So an entire generation and more is now gone. And so there's a poignancy to that. I know that you hear that with older people as they prepare for Christmas. There's an anticipation for the joy of Christmas. You love celebrating with the children especially, but all generations that you're privileged to live with. I say blessed. But there's also a quiet mourning for those who we have eaten with, lived with, and are now gone. We grieve at Christmas as much as we rejoice, but you have to be old for that. There's a crazy ad for Liberty Mutual, okay? And the kid, it's a great ad. The kid he opens a box. What is it? It's a big oversized box of Liberty Fund it's insurance company, okay? And the kid says, oh my, I got this thing. Meanwhile, his brother has got a bicycle and he kicks the bike because he's mad, I didn't get what I wanted. It's so much fun to watch that. But Christmas has a lot of that in it. It has a lot of disappointment as well as anticipation and joy. Yeah. It's a time when families come together. It's a time when the children play. It's when young men and women get engaged. How many who are watching this, how many of you became engaged at Christmas time? The greatest Christmas gift was the ring, the promise of marriage. How many? So often. But it's also a time of remembrance. I want to keep emphasizing that because with the children especially, the kid kicking the bike, okay, he's looking to tomorrow. The young couple getting married or getting engaged at this time, they're looking to tomorrow, the excitement of the future, the vibrancy of life itself. When you get to my age, that vibrancy isn't there any longer. To look forward is to look into one's death, and the summation of one's life, not the creation of new opportunities, new challenges, but the final challenge is to die with dignity and peace in the comfort of the faith. You see? Different. But it's also a time in which we remember. And we remember the great story, which is our lives. We remember those who populated our lives. Those who we have loved and been loved by, our families so especially at Christmas. If we were blessed with a good family, God help you if you were cursed with a very bad and violent family. But if you come from any kind of normal family, this is a consummately wonderful time. And it isn't as secularized as people. I love Santa Claus, okay? By the way, I sat on his lap at North Pole, Alaska, so I have pictures to prove it, okay? He's the real Santa Claus. It was his house, his Santa Claus house. What are you kidding me? Right down the street from St. Nick's Parish, of all names. Anyway, you see? I love Santa Claus. He's a symbol of generosity. People go in debt at this time of year because they run up their charge accounts because they're giving gifts away. They're not indulging themselves, they're giving gifts away. It's not secular. Santa Claus is anything but secular. He's the spirit of generosity. And it never ends. I believe in Santa Claus because it is the spirit of generosity. See? And the giving of gifts, the concern about making your partner in life, your children, friend, happy through the gifts that you give. It's a time of the sacrament of gift giving. Because as you give a gift, you give yourself in symbolic form, in sacramental form. It's not just symbolic, it's sacramental. That in every gift given, you are present in the gift and it'll always be there. I sit in my home here and I look around all the gifts people have given me. Sometimes my memory will play fits on me. I can't remember who gave me this, But indirectly, I know, in most cases, I can tell you exactly who gave it to me. I might not remember what year, but they gave it to me, and they are present. They are present in the gifts. Some go back 50 and 60 years. I have gifts that I gave my parents that upon their death, I asked my brother if I could have them. Not because I want them, it's because they carry the sacrament of love. My love for my parents, you see. And so when I look at them, when I'm in their presence, it's my family present in the break front or on the desk or whatever it may be. And then there are the gifts of the friends that gave me who are now dead. I have a what do you call it? A decoy. It's really artistic. It looks like a decoy, but it's really a work. It's a carving. And June gave it to me, 1972 or 73, when I first got to know her and the family. That thing sits on my desk, right smack in front of her picture sitting right on my boat. The boat is the, what do you call it, a table, okay? It looks like a boat. See, every time I see that, I see Junie. It isn't because it's a symbol, it's because she is present in the love she had for me and given me a very special gift, you see? And right next to it is a couple of ceramic pieces that I gave my parents. One especially shows a guy with a shotgun, and I gave that to my father at Christmas. And I asked Pete if I could have it back after they were both dead 30 years ago, 35 years ago, you see? Why? Because I want it. I want it because it's a sacrament of their presence. That's so much in the house here, so much. Some of it is place as opposed to person. I have a carving of a Native American with a bear coming out of her. I bought that in going into Ontario when I was bear hunting. It reminds me all the trips I took up there to bear hunt and then to guide. A symbol of the natural world, as only a Native American could conceive it. The bear is part of her. See, and I have baleen, the bones of what do I want to say? Grizzly bears or whatever it may be. Okay, from Alaska, I got different things. From whalebone. What am I talking about? Whalebone. Okay, they were given to me by people in Alaska. You see. And it makes present to me my Alaska friends, but also the Alaska experience. The same with the animals. I have a stuffed wolf here that I didn't shoot the wolf. I bought the pelt in Alaska, and I had him mounted. That's a sacrament of a whole place and a time when I was introduced into the wilderness of Alaska, through the church in Alaska. It's in North Pole, Alaska, you see. It's more than an stuffed animal. It's not. It's not a stuffed animal. It's a sacrament of the wilderness. You see, there's so much. Somebody described my house as a house of carnage. I said it is anything but. It's a sacrament. It's a house of sacraments of the wilderness that engaged with me and I engaged with it. The gifts that the animal community gave me through their lives. You have to be really hardcore stupid not to see that. There was a passionist brother who came here one time and he said to me, Ted, I want to just stay with the animals. I want to go to church, Andre. He said, no, I want to stay here with the animals. He understood. This is a sacramental place. When you think of Christmas, think of the gifts as a sacrament of your life, that you're giving something of yourself in the form of the gift you gave, whether it's a shirt, a blouse, I don't care what it is. It is a moment in which you transfer to you the beloved, the person that you love, an item that is the sacrament of your heart. And you give that gift is precious beyond time. Beyond time. It's holy. It's not just good, it is holy. And that's the essence of Christmas. To me, that's the Santa Claus of the heart. You give generously from your heart to another heart, the sacrament of your heart.